Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all the ships at sea. Welcome to tonight's Walpole Media Corporation, Thursday, September 14th, 2023 broadcast of Walpole High School Varsity Football. My name is Rick Brown, your voice of Walpole High Sports. I'll be calling all the action from Memorial Field in Natick as your Walpole High Timberwolves take on the Red Hawks of Natick High in a Bay State Conference interdivision game. Joining me and providing all of our knowledgeable commentary is my friend and co-host Mike Hardiman.
Good evening. Yeah, Thursday night game here. First Bay State game of the year. Both teams looking to bounce back after an opening game loss last week.
All right, like Mike said, both teams lost on the road last year. Walpole shut out by powerhouse, Division II powerhouse King Philip, and Needham upsetting Natick here in their opener. Walpole, a member of the Herget Division, will be looking to make it 2 wins in a row over the Red Hawks tonight. The orange and blue blanked Natick last year 26-0 to snap a 6-year losing streak. All right. Walpole was hurt early against King Philip by a lost fumble. Fell behind 17-0 just 4 minutes into the second quarter. It was never able to get any real consistent offense going last week. The two lines, offensively and defense for King Philip, were just like a machine out there. I mean, they were just all over Walpole. The
Tough
quarterback.
Tough matchup for Noah McKenzie on his first start. A lot of first-time varsity starters last week, so hopefully, got that under their belt and are ready to respond tonight for the Timberwolves.
Right. With the coin toss, it looks like Natick won and declined. So they will receive, actually. Whoa.
Good to see Mike Frederick back in uniform. The captain missed last week's game, but he's obviously one of their best linemen both ways, and we expect to see a lot of him tonight.
All right.
They do lose Dylan Burgess, though, unfortunately, tonight. He's not dressed. I guess he tweaked his back last week, and that starting right guard will not be in the lineup tonight.
Junior quarterback Noah McKenzie was the leading Timberwolf receiver. They're going to have a moment of silence here now for 9/11, and so we'll be back shortly.
Please rise. Remove your hats and remain standing. 22 years ago, on September 11, 2001, our nation was struck by terror with the attacks on the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and a plane that crashed outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. At this time, the members of the Natick High School football team and coaching staff, as well as Walpole High School football team and coaching staff, would like to pay tribute to those who lost their lives or lost loved ones as a result of these attacks of terror, and ask that you join them in a moment of silence in their memory. Fans, please, a moment of silence in memory of those affected by the acts of terror on September 11th, 2001. You are still in our thoughts and will forever be in our hearts. And now please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem. Playing the national anthem tonight is the Natick High School Pep Band under the direction of Mr. Scott Merrill. Fans, our national anthem.
All right. It's a junior quarterback, Noah McKenzie, was the leading Timberwolf rusher with 24 yards on 5 carries last week. Senior Jamal Abdal-Khalak added 21 yards on 3 carries, and Logan Keys had 18 on a pair of carries. Abdul-Khalak was the only Walpole receiver with more than 1 catch, hauling in a pair for 18 yards. Kamari Hughes, another senior, had the longest play from scrimmage in the game for Walpole with a 31-yard catch and run. McKenzie completed 9 of 22 attempts for 87 yards with 8 different players on the receiving end of his completions. The Timberwolves getting ready. They will be going left to right on your screen here. And they will be receiving the ball.
Yeah, of course, last week with Abdel-Khalak deep, KP stayed away from him. They consistently kicked it to Keys, who I'm sure is looking for a bounce-back game. From last week, he had the early fumble, but didn't see the ball much after that, so we'll be looking for a little bit more from him tonight. Obviously, he had a great junior year. I know that coaches are very excited about utilizing him as much as they can.
All right, kicking off for Natick. And we are underway. Ball comes down to Abdul-Khalak at the 8-9. He's up to the 10, 15, 20. Cuts it hole up to the 33, 34-yard line. And that's where Walpole will take over on the 34.
We'll try to set the offense as we go forward here, but I did mention Dylan Burgess not being in the lineup tonight. Looks like senior Nick Foynes is going to get the start at guard in place of Dylan Burgess, but we'll get the rest of them here in a few minutes.
All right, Walpole comes up to the line. Keys the lone back. Split wide right is Kamari Hughes. Kamari Hughes. Hand off to Logan. He's up the middle. He's up to the fumble.
Fortunate. And
yeah.
Boy, second week in a row he's had the early drop here.
Goes up to the 36. Second and 8 for the T-Wolves.
Keys can't let that get to him. He's got to just focus and tuck that ball.
Harris and Callum McCallum cut left. Pass goes past to Harris. He's got it. Hughes. Kamari Hughes. He gets it up to the 48-yard line.
He's brought down by number 3, Ben Chandler, and number 38, Jack Shostad.
A pickup of 12 and a first down for Walpole.
Really nice throw. Had nice protection. Hughes with a little curl route there. Nice catch.
All right, again, he's split right with Shane Brennan. Hand off to Keys, and he's hauled down for a big loss back to the 41-yard line. A loss of 7 on the play. It'll bring down a second down and 17.
Yeah, jailbreak for Sadum there, number 7. There's really no chance for Keys. Natick with a 3-man front, 3 linebackers, 5 DBs, although really they're playing a couple up.
There's a pitch to up by Shane Brennan. Comes up to the 49, a pickup of 8 on the play.
Shane Brennan getting some early run here. Yeah, didn't see much of him, or maybe I missed him last week. Didn't see as much of him last week. Yeah.
Right. He's looking, going deep on the sideline, out of bounds. He was looking for Abdal-Khalak and was not able to collect. It will bring up a 4th down situation.
Really difficult throw there. Really difficult throw to be able to put that one where it needs to be. But incomplete, and Walpole looks like they're going to punt the ball here.
And Nick Foynes will be doing the punting, I think.
Yeah.
He did it all last week. Yeah, he's back here to do the punting again.
Number 56, Nicholas Foynes, to punt.
Oh, great play. Gets it off. And it's going to be downed at about the 6-yard line by Quinn McNeil.
Well, we know it was a really good punt, but where I was impressed with was the poise because it bounced to him. And
Right.
that old lineman showing the hands there with the scoop, and,
Yep.
and then he got off the great punt.
Yeah, and he had 3 defenders right in on him.
Yep.
He was able to get it. All right, so they mark it at the 8-yard line. And hand off. Eight with the carry. Lenny Cruz with the carry.
Yeah, defensive right end, Kamari Hughes, nice play. And right away we
gets it
see
up.
Mike Frederick. Mike Frederick playing D tackle, along with junior, number 79, Calvin McCabe.
And again, pick up. And a fumble. Looks like Walpole celebrating like they recovered.
No, he's calling him down, I think.
No, they said he was down.
Yep.
It comes up to the 11-yard line. Yeah, pickup of 2.
So we got McCabe and Frederick in the middle, number 54, defensive left end, Aiden Abedi. Of course, Renard and Shamoon in the middle at linebacker, supported by Kevin Needham. And it looks like number 8, Danny Cesario. We'll get the D-backs here in a minute.
3rd and about 7 for the Red Hawks. Jesse Gagliotti, the quarterback. Back to pass, fires on the sideline. Played, but there's a flag down at the 10-yard line.
Covering on the play for Walpole was number 2, Jamal Abdal Kalak.
Uh,
And it looks like it could be on Natick.
Eligible receiver downfield is the preliminary signal.
I wouldn't expect Walpole to take this, although because there is a 4th down. It is 4th and short, but you're deep in your own end. So,
Yeah.
but it looks like they might.
Looks like they're going to take the penalty.
Just continuing to set the defense. Looks like Shane Brennan all started early on offense. He's also
Goes
out there
back
at left
to-
corner. Abdal
4th down and about 9.
Kalak out at safety. And Logan Keys at right corner here. So I also see number 52 in there now for Walpole. Brendan Kearns. I think they're probably subbing out at inside at D tackle. That's correct. Frederick moved over to left tackle. Calvin McCabe came out.
There's the snap. Going to his right, looking downfield. It's deflected at the line of scrimmage. It looked like 54. I think Aiden Abedi looked like he got a hand on that and was able to deflect it at the line of scrimmage. So Natick goes into a punting situation.
Number 14, Nathan Davier to punt. What's that number? Can't read. 2.
Abdal Kalak at the Natick 42.
Deep to receive for Walpole.
Snap, kicking out of the end zone. Shot. Fair catch called by Noah McKenzie at the 34, maybe. 34-yard line. Walpole will take over there.
At the 34-yard line.
Oh, good field position here for the Timberwolves, 34-yard line.
Right.
Natick. Let's see. They got one first down on their last drive, but that minus 7-yard run by Keys kind of put them in a hole on the next set of downs. Let's see what they come out with here.
Hand off to Keys, and he's caught again for a loss. As soon as he got the ball, dropped back to the 37. That was, as soon as he got the ball, they were in on top of him. That's really not on him.
Keys certainly facing some adversity tonight. Fumble. Other 2 times he got the ball, he was swarmed pretty quickly by a Natick defender. So, yeah.
In motion is Kalak. They give it to him. He cuts upfield, and he's hit behind the, still at the line of scrimmage. He'll get, looks like a line.
23, Keegan Wassendorf. No gain on the play, makes it
3rd down.
Just a 3-man front for Natick, but those guys are causing some havoc.
Right. .605.
I mean,
and
I would
counting.
expect with any gain of yards here, they'll be going for it on 4th down.
Right. McKenzie looking, fires over the middle, and it's picked off at the 5, the 10. And brought down. Intercepted by Nolan Cloutier.
McKenzie had time. He actually stepped up in the pocket and bought himself a few more seconds, but threw it a little bit high. The tip resulted in, the old tip drill, and Natick's number 6, Lenny Cruz, was there, opportunistic, and they get the turnover. And Walpole does not take advantage of the field position.
Right. They're on their own 28 for Natick.
At their own 28.
Gagliotti gets it, gives it to the second man throw, and he's dropped right away.
Walpole subbing in and out a little bit tonight on defense. Matthew St. Cyr now at right end for Kamari Hughes.
In motion is James Perrier. There's a back pass. Got right away, but it was Diego Montero with the carry. He gets to about the 29, up to the 29. That'll be 3rd and about 9 for
Matthew Renard
the
came
Redhawks.
from the left side from the inside linebacker spot and forced the running back to cut up right into the kind of the teeth of the Walpole pursuing defense. And I think it was either Mike Frederick or Matthew St. Cyr that combined for the tackle there.
Gagliotti back to pass, throwing over the cross. And it's intercepted at the 46. A flag.
It might be interference. I don't know.
Intercepted by Shane Brennan at the 46. We'll see if it comes back, though. At the 44 is where they throw the flag, so it could be pass interference on Walpole. We'll see what they say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were,
Walpole.
Yeah, definitely a lot of contact there.
Yeah,
Very athletic play by Shane Brennan, though.
it was.
Yeah.
So that will be a first down.
It looks like Abdal Kalak got there a little early on that one. I mean, we don't have the benefit of replay, but yeah, there was definitely a lot of contact.
It comes up at the 44, 43. Natick 43 on the play, so they were able to pick up 14 on that pass interference.
Quinn McNeil in for Abdal Kalak now. Getting a lot of guys in on defense early here. Oh. Looks like Kamari Hughes jumped a little bit.
Yeah.
I guess. So 2 penalties in a row here for Walpole.
Moves it into the 48-yard line of Natick. First and 5. Handoff to
Shane
Perrier,
Brennan.
and he's stopped.
Shane Brennan again. He's been present early. Again, I don't know how much we saw of him last week. I don't know if it was an injury concern or just he's working his way into the lineup, but he's trying to show the coaches tonight that he belongs there.
A loss of about 2 on the play. Brings up second and about 7. Gagliardi back to pass, throws. He was looking for James Perrier. That was over his head. It'll bring up a third down for Natick.
Yeah, tight coverage by Keys. Some in the stands here on the Natick side are thinking it was a little too early. But both quarterbacks trying to find their rhythm a little bit. Both a little high so far with their passes.
Gagliardi hands off and nowhere. In fact, he'll lose a yard. Back to the 45.
Again, continuing the theme, Walpole's moving some guys around. Kearns was at right end that time. He's been playing inside at tackle, but he's the one that broke free of the block first and made the initial stop, and Danny Cesario, number 8, came to help him finish. Good play by Brendan Kearns.
Nathan Napier will punt. Abdal Kalak at about the 23-yard line of Walpole. Low snap. He gets it off. Abdal Kalak will let it go let it die. It'll die on the 26-yard line. And that's where the Timberwolves will take over with 2 minutes exactly to go in this first quarter. Scoreless game so far.
You can see Jamal Abdal Kalak. He's anxious to make a play, and he wanted to touch it, but he actually made the smart play, letting it go.
He was hoping for a higher bounce.
Yeah, the first bounce was a good one, but he wasn't close enough, unfortunately. So not his fault, but
anyway, Walpole will start back now. The handoff to McKenzie, the keeper. He gets up to the 20, maybe the 21.
I think it's the 31.
31. Pickup of about 5.
Yeah, you saw they were going with Keys again. And McKenzie, I thought, last week did a good job running the ball the few times that he did.
Right.
I haven't set the offense. I'll wait another play here because they're coming up to the line of scrimmage.
Matt St. Cyr and Jamal Abdal Kalak split right. Hughes on the left, Kamari Hughes on the left. McKenzie's looking. And he gets up to about the 33. Pickup of 2 by Mackenzie.
You know, I think the coaches are going to be happy with that. There really wasn't anything there. Mackenzie didn't try to force it. Tucked it and ran, got a couple yards.
Right.
Lived to see another play type of thing.
51 seconds and counting left here in the first quarter. Third down for the orange and blue. 3 yards to go. Mackenzie is going to be fumbles.
Oh,
Back to the 26. A loss of 7. And it's a bad turnover for Walpole.
again, it looked like it looks like he had a quick look. Like he had one look that if it wasn't open, he was going to try to tuck and run it.
Yeah.
That's what he did, but the Natick D-line was already forcing pressure. And in the extra effort, he unfortunately lost the ball.
Yeah.
Walpole offense earlier this season just struggling to get on track a little bit.
Right.
5 quarters now without scoring.
Yeah.
There is some talent there. Some linemen with experience, so I think it's a matter of reps and practice. And
this was a short week,
yeah,
you know, for both teams actually, but, you know. Pitch left to Teddy Ferrucci. He gets the ball up to the down to the 25. Pick up 2.
Kamari Hughes made a really nice play there. He had a blocker on him. He was just trying. I mean, he got hit pretty well. Ferrucci put his head down and ended up going forward. But Hughes was fighting off a blocker on one side and trying to make the tackle on the other. Good job.
And that ends the first quarter. We're scoreless here at Natick. So, yeah, like Mike said, it's 5 quarters in a row without scoring for Walpole, and I'm sure that is a concern, but they've looked at times like they can move the ball, so they just need to get a little consistency going on here.
Well, so far early in the season, it's been penalties and definitely fumbles, 3 fumbles. Now, 1 they got back tonight, but yeah, so, until they get it in gear and kind of get, the ball rolling a little bit, they can't afford any of those mistakes.
Right. They switch sides now, and Natick will be going from left to right. Ferrucci again, the lone back for Natick. In motion is Perrier. Keeper by Gagliardi. Gets it down to the 23.
Calvin McCabe and Aiden Abadi teamed up on that tackle. Walpole's D so far has been good. So.
Yeah.
But they got a challenge here, obviously deep in the territory. This is obviously 4 down territory, so 2 more plays here, most likely for Natick.
Snap Gagliardi, hands off to Sam Hubbard. Hubbard gets down to about the 22. Pickup of about a yard.
Yeah, Danny Cesario, nice play. He actually set the edge, but when the Natick running back cut up the middle, he was able to grab him by the ankles and hang on. So big fourth down here.
Looks like they're going to try a field goal.
Okay.
Napier coming up here. Let's see. This will be a 39-yard attempt. We'll see how good his leg is. Yeah.
Plus 10, 39?
Yep. The boot is blocked.
Let it go, let it go, let it go.
And it will go a flag. What's this flag?
Blocks the punt at the line of scrimmage, but we have a flag down.
A late flag. Very late. Coming from the judge who was under the
It's not an extra point. Like
Not when it crosses the line of scrimmage. I believe behind the line of scrimmage line.
They're saying another fourth down.
I see the defense still out there, so I don't know if there was a little scuffle at the end of that. There was a bunch of kids together, so I don't know like if there was a personal foul here or.
Coach Sullivan trying to get a.
And it's a big one, so it was definitely like a
Yeah,
personal foul type of.
right.
That's
So
a huge
Natick,
mistake. Oh my
maintains
goodness.
possession and gets the ball at the 11.
Offense is back on the field, and it looks like it's first and 10 at the 11 for Natick.
Don't know what the penalty was for. We didn't see the signal up here. And Sam Hubbard goes in. Sam Hubbard with an 11-yard run.
So, again, we don't have the benefit of replay, but there had to be, I saw a bunch of kids together after the field goal was blocked. There had to be
Right.
some sort of extracurricular there. They
Right.
just have to be more disciplined than that.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was a 15-yard personal foul. Gives Natick another first down, and they
Right.
capitalize with the 11-yard run, 12-yard
Right.
run here. You can't afford those mistakes.
Napier with the extra point attempt. It is good.
10 minutes, 12 seconds remaining in the second quarter to score. Natick, Red Hawks 7, Walpole High School nothing. So it should be 7-0, right? Not 5.
All right, so, yeah, like Mike said, Walpole has got to start holding on to their cool, really. All right, Napier will kick off. Back deep is Jamal Abdal-Kalak. The upmen are John Dayer and Logan Keys. They're both at about the 20. Jamal back at about the 5.
Number 2, Jamal Abdal-Kalak.
I understand the offense is still trying to find their groove here, but the easiest thing to eliminate are penalties and fumbles.
Right. Yep. Napier getting ready to kick off here. And it goes to Abdal-Kalak. He gets it on the 8, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's got a big hole. He's going down the right sideline. He's going. He might go. He's going to go all the way, 92 yards. Jamal Abdal-Khalak, 92 yards.
Well, we said last game KP kicked away from him all game.
Right.
And he didn't have any opportunities, so.
So Walpole finally gets on the board after 5 periods with electrifying run by Jamal Abdal-Khalak. He picked it up, broke through the big crush down at about the 25, 30 yard line, and then just cruised down the right sideline, staying in bounds the whole time and doing a great job of it.
Coach Sullivan's pulling him aside. I mean, I don't want to say it was him who had the personal foul on the last drive. He was in the area, but I don't know who it was on. But yeah, if it was, well, he made up for it very quickly.
Nick Foynes with the extra point attempt, it up, and it is good. And we are tied here. Time exactly 2 minutes into the second quarter. And we're deadlocked here at 7-7. And that was just a fantastic run by Abdal-Khalak.
Well,
you had said it just a couple minutes ago that he looks like he wants to break off something big here.
Yeah, he
certainly did.
He looks anxious, and once he broke through that first line, like you said, it was all speed to the end zone. So. Nick Foynes.
Nick Foynes, yep, we're kicking off for Walpole. It's taken on the 10 by Perrier. He gets up to about the 27, 28.
Number 33, Anthony Shamoon with a nice tackle. After the return, they're giving Kalak a little breather here with Quinn McNeil back at deep safety. Shane Brennan still down at left corner. The D-line is Abadi, Frederick, McCabe, and I believe that's St. Cyr out at right end. Needham, Shamoon, Reynard, and Cesario linebacker.
There's a pitch left, and
Quinn McNeil.
Bringing them down. There's a big loss there. About we're going to go back to the 25, right to the 25. Loss of 3.
Quinn McNeil came from the deep safety spot, made a beeline once he knew what that play was, and actually took a great angle and was able to get the loss.
Right.
Cash Cantrell is checked in at corner.
2nd and 13 for the red and blue. Handoff back to the line of scrimmage, and not much way. Ferrucci with the ball. They may end up going up to the 27. Pickup of 2.
I feel like that
3rd
kid
and 11.
has some older brothers. We've seen that name before for sure.
Third down, 11 for Natick. Gagliardi rolling to his right, looking, firing, complete to Perrier. It will be so it's going to be, looks like it's going to be just short. No, they're giving it to him at the 38.
Best throw of the night for Gagliardi. Gagliardi, only a sophomore.
Yeah. Pitch left. Ferrucci, and he's knocked down by
Number 59, Matthew Renard.
Matt Renard.
Yeah, Reynard and Shamoon are present again tonight. These guys make a ton of tackles, just like last week.
Loss of a yard on the play. A fake.
Wide
Gagliardi's
open.
keeping it. He's got a lot of room. And he is knocked out right at midfield. A first down at midfield for Natick. 7 minutes, 39 seconds and counting in the first half. We're deadlocked here, 7-7.
Yeah, good fake by that time by Gagliardi. I mean, he
Right.
sucked the whole left side of the line in, which opened. I mean, it was wide open for
Yeah.
Gagliardi to keep the ball. He might have had like an option there to throw it, but it was just too tempting not to
Right.
not take.
Ball's in midfield.
In motion is Perrier. Handoff up the middle.
Ready for Rucci on the carry.
Ferrucci carries to the Walpole 45. It'll be pickup of 5.
Correction number 26, Sam Hubbard on the carry. He's brought down by number 11, Shane Brennan. Gain of 5 makes it 2nd and 5. So Hubbard's got his shirt out. That'll make it easy. Let's go, Danny!
Gagliardi keeps again. Gets about
Gagliardi on the quarterback.
maybe 3, maybe 2. Looks like they're going to give him 2 to the 43. Bring up a 3rd and about 3 for the Red Hawks.
Cesario was on the outside, left outside linebacker. He actually forced Gagliardi to cut the ball up. And Walpole defenders, I think Aiden Abadi was one of the guys there, and Shamoon as well, to clean up. Oh,
A little jumping off sides, it looks like, for the major procedure. Move it back to the Walpole 48. 3rd down, 8 yards to go for Natick.
Walpole needs to stay disciplined here. They've got this, sort of like play action type, like action on their plays,
Right.
where it looks like it's being handed off one way and he's rolling out the other. So stay disciplined on the D line. Well, that looked like an offside too.
Did too, yeah. Fires complete to the 26, 36.
Pass is complete to number 3. Ben Chandler.
First down.
Number 21, Quinn McNeil.
One of the first times
He's gonna have
we've seen him drop back to pass, just straight drop back, but he made a nice throw there.
Yep.
Thought I saw a little movement here
I
on
did
the
too.
right.
This is
yeah.
the right end.
Yeah.
There's a pitch right. And he gets
Rucci on the carry.
Ferrucci might have got a couple of yards there.
Brought down by number 33. Anthony Shimon.
They're just gonna move it down to the
Gain of 2 makes it
34.
Cesario and Needham are playing the outside linebacker spot. I mean, one of them could be like a hybrid, like safety type of guy, but they're both doing a good job coming up and forcing that play inside. So it's allowing those inside linebackers, those tackling machines Walpole has, Reynard and Shamoon, to pad the stats there. So credit to the outside linebackers, though, for setting the edge there.
Hold off as Gagliardi keeps it. Lunges forward to about the 33.
Again, Cesario involved, but Frederick and Abady there as well.
Pickup of about a yard. 3rd down and about 7 for Natick. 3:45 and counting in the half.
So Kearns and Abdal Kalak back in the game.
Going.
There's a flag on the other side.
Oh,
I'm wondering if it's an offensive push-off.
yeah.
Tell you, when Cantrell got up, he was complaining about being pushed. Now, sometimes that's just, you know, you get beat and you.
Right, yeah.
But it feels like it's coming back here. It looks like they're, well, maybe not. I don't know.
Right now, the ball was down on the 8.
So
no,
the coverage
4.
the coverage was there initially.
Right.
The ball was thrown a little inside. You know, we're hearing up in the booth a couple things, and it's true. Like the wide receiver had to turn in.
Oh, they're picking
Yep.
it up.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
So, well, I don't know. Like, listen, I will say, like, he was forced to come into the left
Yeah.
to make that catch. And I think that was the reason why Cash Cantrell was saying he got pushed off. Because
Right.
when he was forced to come into the left, he actually kind of almost pushed aside
Yeah.
Cantrell, but he was going for the ball. So I'm assuming that was how it ended up being.
Anyway, 1st and goal from the 4 for Natick. Hubbard trying to go through. Touchdown. So that goes through. Napier attempting the extra point here. The boot is through. So Natick goes back on top 14-7 here.
The sophomore
With,
Gagliardi, I think,
2:45.
found something on that drive, so he looks a little bit more comfortable out there. He probably had first game jitters last week against Needham as well,
Yeah,
but he looked comfortable on that drive. And, of course, those one-on-one plays downfield like Cantrell was faced with, those are tough, especially on the underthrows
Yeah.
for a cornerback. So. 2:45 here in the half to try to respond. And, of course, Natick gets the ball coming out
right.
in the second half.
Yep. Okay. Abdal Kalak beat Dayer and Logan
Need a ball.
closer.
Need a football. There we go.
We'll see if Dayer kicks to Abdal Kalak again or if he tries to go short. Oh, he does a grounder. Up. Logan. No, Dayer gets up to about the 34, and that's where Walpole will take over. So Walpole will start at their 35. They're going to mark it. Walpole will start. They have 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the half. There's plenty of time to get down the field.
Number 4, Will McGrath in the slot. Kind of a new face.
Timeout, Walpole.
Fans, be sure to visit the concession stand operated by the Natick Football and Cheerleading Association. Hamburgers, cheeseburgers, pizza, hot dogs, pretzels, popcorn, chips, soda, water. They've also got NHS slides, magnets, hats, and t-shirts. All on sale.
Walpole offensive line, I didn't get a chance to set it. Fredericks in at right tackle, Kearns right guard, Chris Gillis at center, Nick Foynes in for Dylan Burgess tonight at left guard, and Peter Follen at left tackle. We've seen a whole bunch of different wideouts: Hughes, Brennan, Matthew St. Cyr, Kalak. I see Will McGrath was out there last time, but now I don't see him. Cash Cantrell as well. Of course, McKenzie and Keys in the backfield has been pretty consistent.
Okay, good. Back to passes. McKenzie looking on the right side, looking for Abdal Kalak, incomplete. Double coverage on Kalak. Arnold Kawari and Nolan Cloutier on double coverage on
I mean, at the end of the day, it's probably fortunate, right? I mean, he's double covered, and I'm sure they're going to be giving a lot of attention to him. So.
Right. Second and 10 for Walpole.
I do see Will McGrath in the slot up top.
McKenzie again, going long. A lot of bumping going down the field, incomplete. It'll bring up third down for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, just a go route for Matthew St. Cyr. Good, listen, McKenzie showing off the arm.
Right.
But great coverage there by Natick's number 5, Coer, captain Arnold Coer. 3rd and 10. So they've taken 2 long shots.
Right.
Fairly long shots.
St. Cyr again split left with Kamari Hughes. McKenzie looking, drops it over there, and hit right away. It was complete to Logan. And Logan loses back to the 32, 33.
Yeah, it looked like the setup of the play was really good, but number 18 Schultz made a nice play, recognized what was going on. So it looked like it was set up. Looked like he had some blockers, but Schultz broke through and put an end to that.
Foynes ready to kick here.
Oh,
bad Natick bounce actually downed at the Natick 49. Foynes. All right, minute 39 left to go in the half. Natick on top, 14-7. In motion is Cruz. Handoff up the middle. And a flag coming in.
Might be a hold on that one. That's right in the middle of holding, yep.
It's on Natick holding. It will move the ball back 10 yards to the 39. 1st and 20 for the Redhawks.
Ball spotted at the Natick 39-yard line, 1st and 20.
Gagliardi's going to roll to his right, looking, complete to midfield to James Perrier. Who goes right to the midfield stripe. 1:04 left in the half.
Like I said, Gagliardi seems to be finding some range here.
Gagliardi keeps it, gets down to about the 46 of Walpole.
Quinn McNeil with a few tackles tonight.
Second down.
Clock's running.
Third down.
Of course, I don't track timeouts ever, so I don't know what Natick has.
Yeah.
They might have, they took one for sure.
Gagliardi looking, going down the right side. Out about just off the end. Nice try by Arnold Kawari, but Brennan, another great play there. 28 seconds now left in the half.
Hey, tons of credit to Brennan on that one. He had tight coverage. He got his head around in the right spot. The throw was perfect.
Right.
And Brennan was able to kind of get up, get his hands up, and knock the ball out. So great play by him. He's really impressed me tonight, Brennan.
Yeah, yeah. Fourth down, the Red Hawks are going to kick here. Kawari, not Kawari, Abdal Kalak back at the 10. High snap, kick gets off, and it's going to go, bounces the wrong way, and it'll be down on the 16-yard line. And Walpole will take over on the 16 with 20 seconds to go in the half.
I don't know. Maybe they take one shot here and then they go into halftime. We'll see.
Yeah. All right, Timberwolves come up to the line. Harris split left and St. Cyr on the right. Hand off to Logan. Logan cutting up field. Picks up a couple to the 17. Pick up of 1. And that ends the first half with Natick on top 14-7. Like we said, Walpole got some penalties at key times to hurt them.
Well, they blocked a field goal. There was obviously a personal
Right,
foul there.
yeah.
Very next play, Natick scores. So
awful.
The next drive, you got to give Natick credit on the next drive. They, drove it down the field, made a lot of plays. They had the one tough pass down the sideline, which, I'm sure if you're Walpole, you're looking at it like the cornerback got pushed off.
Yeah.
But if you're Natick, you're looking at it like my guy was going for the ball. He had to cut over. So they had the flag down, then they picked it up, and then Natick went on to score there too.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right, well, the two teams go into the dressing room. We'll take a break here. We'll be back shortly with second half action. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to second half action from Memorial Field here in Natick. The Natick Red Hawks leading your Walpole Timberwolves 14-7. Natick on the board first, 1:48 into the second quarter, with Sam Hubbard running the ball in from 11 yards out. Nathan Napier made the extra point for a 7-0 lead. On the ensuing kickoff, Jamal Abdal Kalak picked up the ball on the Walpole 8, broke through a band of tacklers at about the 20-25, scooted over to the right sideline and just blew down the sideline for a 92-yard kickoff return. Nick Foyne's extra point made it, tied it at 7. And then Sam Hubbard scored his second touchdown, 9:15 into the second quarter, and that's the way we stand now. Walpole kicking off again. Foynes kicking off. All right, the ball goes down. It's taken at about the 5 by Ben Chandler. He gets it up to about the 20, looks like about the 24-yard line. And that's where the Redhawks will take over.
Far sideline for us, but it looked like that was Jake Goneman on the tackle. Nice tackle for number 9, Jake Goneman. So Walpole comes out. I don't think they played terribly on defense. Of course, Natick seemed to find a little bit of a groove there in the second quarter. They did stop them on downs where Natick went for the field goal, blocked the field goal, but a personal foul gave Natick the ball back, and they ended up scoring on that drive.
The handoff right at the middle, gaining maybe a yard for Natick. Up to about the 25.
Yeah, whole bunch of folks in on that one. I mean, I think Reynard and Hughes and McCabe, I think they're all in there at the same time. So good job there on that first down run.
Pitch left to Ferrucci, cuts it upfield. Keys rides him down at about the 40-yard line. Pickup of about 15 on the play and a first down for Natick.
You know, Walpole's been doing a good job all night setting that edge and making the runners turn up. But on that one, Natick had the corner, and Ferrucci took advantage. First time he ran into a Walpole guy was Keys at right corner.
Right. And off to Ferrucci again. He's up to about the 46. Pickup of 6 on the play, 2nd and 4.
That was a good run. I mean, I think where he wanted to go was blocked up, and he made a short cut to the left, and he was able to pick up 6 or 7 yards on that one.
Did I miss a penalty flag? Oh, procedure on Natick, so that will move the ball back to the 35 and a 1st and 15 for Natick. Pitch left to Ferrucci, breaks a couple of tackles, still on his feet, up to about the 41-yard line.
Hey, you got to give it all to Ferrucci on that one. I mean, Hughes was right there, right there, but Ferrucci broke that tackle and was able to break a few more actually to gain 6 yards, make it 2nd and 9.
2nd down and 9 for the Redhawks. Gagliotti keeps it. Gets up to about the 44. Pickup of 3. It'll be 3rd down and about 6.
Kevin Needham and Reynard on the stop on that one for Walpole. All right, I mean, A lot of shifting by Walpole's defense.
Gagliardi back to pass. He's going long on the sideline. And a collect on the 26-yard line. Pickup of 30 on that play.
That's the third time they've run that play. The first time, a little underthrown, they were able to get the catch. Second time, I believe it was Brennan that made the breakup. That time the coverage was tight, but again, good throw. And number 5 for Natick actually just went and got the ball. So,
yep. A new set of downs for the red and blue. Hand off to Ferrucci. Going away to the 24-23, I think. Pickup of about 3. 2nd and 7. Hand off again to Ferrucci. He breaks through to the 18-yard line, it looks like. They may mark it on the 19. They do. They mark it on the 19. 3rd down and about 2.
Hard to say what time of possession is, but obviously that can become a factor. I mean, Walpole is getting guys in and out of the lineup, so hopefully they're fresh enough. But
Right.
Natick's pounding the ball here.
Ferrucci, he's stuffed this time.
It's probably a first down, though, it looks like. Or it's right there. Yeah, he's going 4th down up there. Maybe they'll measure.
To the 27.
Yeah, looks like they're going to measure.
They're going to measure, I think, here. In any case, you expect Natick to go for it on 4th down. Just shot. At the 16. 4th down and inches.
Oh, he might not have got it on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He may have been stopped. And they didn't get it. Walpole will take over on the 20. Actually lost a yard on the play back to the 17.
Okay, here we go. Walpole's offense needs to find something here. Just haven't been able to string together long drives without turning it over on downs or making some sort of a mistake like a penalty or a fumble. So it's all right.
Good run there. That was
Keys.
Logan, yep.
Number 18, Logan Keys on the carry. He's brought down by number 7, Ronnie Satum.
Pickup of about 8 for Keys. At the 26-yard line.
Keys
Second
had a
and
little
2.
hole there, but he actually made a couple nice moves too.
Right. Big hole.
Guess who? Shane Brennan.
Brennan. He's down though. Ball goes up to the 32. Looks like to the 32. Pickup of 6. A new set of downs for the Timberwolves.
Little tighter formation here for Walpole, not as spread out.
Pitch ahead
Dahar.
to Dayer. Fumbles the ball. Wow. So
That is a pass.
okay. So it'll be second down. A loss on the play. Back to the 31. Second and 11. McKenzie rolling left, right, left.
Here you go.
Kicked by Abel Kalak. He gets up to the 48 of
21-yard gain there.
Walpole's. That's the Walpole's biggest play from scrimmage tonight.
Yeah, they haven't rolled out McKenzie too much, but that, you know, I think he was able to roll out, kind of feel free from pressure, and set up and throw with his feet set. And he made a nice throw, and Clark made a nice catch and run.
Big hole there for
Keys.
Keys. Gets down to the 43.
It's like 6. I kind of like the split backs because it helps with the misdirection. When you have the single back, it's
Right.
And so far, Keys' successful runs have been when they had the split backs and kind of ran a little misdirection. Not that time.
No. Loss on the play back to the 45. A loss of 2 on that. Brings up a third and about a little over 5 yards.
It looks like the second back is Quinn McNeil. So
McKenzie back. He's looking. He's going to run with it. And he's got the first down to the 32-yard line. Pickup of 13 on the play.
again, McKenzie didn't see what he liked, was able to step up in the pocket. Then he recognized he had a lane and made a nice run.
He did get out of the grasp a couple of times, too.
Not to jinx it, but best offensive drive of the year for Walpole so far.
Yeah.
I did jinx it, didn't I?
False start.
All right, no more talking. No more talking. Well. Yeah.
It'll be first and 15 for the orange and blue. 1:45 and counting left in the third quarter. McKenzie looking. It's deflected at the line.
Yeah, tipped at the line.
Yeah. He was looking for Cash Cantrell. It was incomplete. All right, T-Wolves come up to the line. 2nd and 15. Hand off to Keys, trying to get outside. He does. He gets close to the line, the original line of scrimmage.
Keys finding a little bit more room on this drive, first time this year.
Yeah.
I also wanted to make mention that Joe Malone at right tackle, I've seen a couple guys out there. I thought I saw, I thought I saw a different player out there earlier, but I just wanted to call that out in case I missed him earlier.
McKenzie with the keeper. Gets down inside the 30 to about the 29. Pick up a 5 on the play.
It's going to be 4th down now. Yep. All right, this will be interesting.
Yeah.
What do they got in their bag here? 4th and 7.
Walpole will be going for it.
Clock's running out here in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if they can get this playoff before the quarter ends.
They do get it off. Kenzie rolling right, looking, firing, complete for a 1st down to Jamal Abdal Kalak at the 21-yard line.
Again, the
of
rollout
about
helps
8.
McKenzie there. He was able to kind of get,
Yeah.
not feel the pressure so much. Get out in space, set his feet. Kalak with the good route, good throw, and really a key 1st down in this game because that's the end of the 3rd quarter now.
So we've played 3 quarters here. Teams will switch side. Walpole will be going from right to left now. And they'll have a 1st down at the Natick 21. Good drive, like Mike has been saying here. Now they've got to capitalize on it, get that equalizer.
Yep, drive certainly not over. I mean, but listen, I might not have this 100% correct, but a couple of things different on this drive that I've seen. Number one, they've got the 2 backs back there. It seemed like Keys had a little bit more room on some of his runs, maybe through misdirection. I don't know what it was, or the line blocking better. Secondly, they rolled McKenzie out a few times, which got him away from the pressure, allowed him to set his feet, get a good throw, and both times he put it on the money.
Yep. All right, we're back here at Memorial Field. 1st and 10 for Walpole. Logan Keys going on the right side, cutting up field, and he gets down to about the 15. Looks like the 15, maybe not quite as far. They're only going to give him the 17.
Keys has got a lot of speed. I mean, getting him to the outside is a good idea, in my opinion.
Keys again, but he gets nowhere this time. Back to the line of scrimmage, maybe. Yeah. 3rd and about 7.
I have to see how close they're playing Abdal Kalak, but I like one of these little short passes and just letting Kalak make a play on his own. But no, they're covering them pretty tight, and actually the captain's for Natick's with them too. So
Yeah.
I think they know that that's in the repertoire.
Mackenzie five. Intercepted there by Keegan Wasserbor. And Natick will take over on the Walpole, on the Natick 39.
Ball spotted at the Natick
39.
Needham and Cesario trying to get set.
Handoff. By Jack Shosted. Gets it up to the 44. Pick up a 5. 2nd and 5.
Beatty, McCabe, Kearns, and looks like Matthew St. Cyr in the D-line.
And a timeout call by Natick.
Fans, just a reminder, the next home game for the Red Hawks is in 2 weeks. Friday, September 29th versus Wachusett Regional High School. Kickoff is at 6. Next week, they travel to Milford. Face the Scarlet Hawks Friday night, September 22nd. Kickoff is at 7.
10:35 left in this one in regulation. Natick up by a touchdown, 14-7. A 92-yard kickoff return by Jamal Abdal Kalak. Walpole's lone score with the extra point. By Mr. Nick Foynes. Okay, both teams come back out now. 2nd and 5 for Natick. Pick up of maybe a yard for Ferrucci.
Brought down by number 21.
They give him a yard.
It'll bring up 3rd and about 3.
3rd and a long 3, short 4 for Natick. Hand off to Ferrucci.
Oh,
He's
nice
hitting the
play.
backfield. A loss back to the 44-yard line. Loss of about 2.
Boy, Danny Cesario's been doing that all game. Coming off the edge, especially when he recognizes it's a run play, he's doing one of two things. He's in on the tackle or he's forcing that play inside. So
Right.
great job by him.
Yep. All right. Napier back to punt for Natick. Back at the 20-yard line is Jamal Abdal Kalak. A short punt. Kalak gets it on the run at the 30, swings back. Go to there. They'll get him back there at the 30, maybe the 31. They're going to mark it right on the 30-yard line, and that's where Walpole will get it 1st and 10. 8:58 left in regulation.
Last drive ended in an interception, but I thought there was a lot of positive things happening on that drive. Let's see if
Right.
they can build on that.
Screenshot to Abdal Khalak. He's got room. He's got a first down up to the Walpole 44. Pick up a 14 on the play.
Yeah, that's the play I was talking about the last time. Just a little screen out on the outside there. And he did exactly what, the coaches
Right.
are looking for on that. Just breaking one tackle, and all of a sudden he's there for 13, 14 yards. So.
Yeah. New set of downs for Coach Chris Sullivan's team. Oh, a loss on the play as he didn't. A loss by McKenzie of about 4. Back to the 40. He didn't surprise anyone on that.
Well, hindsight's 20/20 there. But I don't know if he had the option of giving it to Keys, but Keys had the edge on
Yeah.
that one, I think.
Second and about 14. Hand off to Logan. Trying to cut upfield, he does. Gets just over the original line of scrimmage to about the 46. He's slow getting up.
Well, it looked like Keys' head hit like a knee or something on the way down.
Yeah.
Oh, but he's grabbing his knee. Originally, I thought he was down because I thought he took a little knee to the head there, but
Yeah.
looks like he just tweaked his knee a little bit, and he's going to go out and take a break. Number 29, Brennan Matera Jr. is going to come in.
Second and about 8. Third and about 8. Same play to Abdal Khalak. He only gets down to the 49 of Natick. Brings up a 4th down and about 3.5.
Again, trying to get the ball in his hands so he can make a play, but that was a great tackle by the Natick defender.
Yeah.
He hung on. I wouldn't want to tackle him in space.
Timeout call with 6:41 left in regulation. Walpole driving, trailing by a touchdown, 14-7 in this Bay State Conference interdivision game. Both teams looking for their first win of the year.
Which is very unusual for Natick and Walpole to be playing each other.
Right.
With both teams, even if unless it's the first game of the year.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you got here, right? 4th and 4, and
Right. Yeah.
I tell you, like Hughes is a big target. Like he's been a good big target.
Yeah.
They're obviously going to be all over Khalak. I don't know. I'm watching Hughes on this one. We'll
Right.
see.
He's split far right.
Yeah. Nope.
They go to
Same
Khalak.
play.
And
They're
they
all
snuff
over
him
it.
out.
All
Yeah.
over it.
And Walpole gives up the ball on downs. at the Natick.
49-yard line. Vince, pizza has arrived at the concession stand. Anybody wants a pizza?
Yeah, that time they snuffed it right out. They knew it was coming a clock. So it's up to the D here again. Handoff to Sam Hubbard. He picks up a couple of yards to the Walpole 47. Second and about 8 for Natick. Hubbard comes off the field limping. He's got both touchdowns for Natick. They don't want to see him off the field. Looks like it could be just a cramp. They're working on him on the sideline. Second and 8 for Natick. Handoff to Ferrucci. He may have got, they're going to give him 1 yard to the 46.
Again, Needham, Needham and Cesario on the outside there. Needham forced, had the penetration, ran him back into the big fella, Calvin McCabe, which I'm sure I wouldn't want to run into that for him. He's a big boy.
Big boy.
Yeah. All right. I've said this a number of times this year already. Big third down spot here.
Right.
I mean, Natick has rolled Gagliardi out a couple times with the little passes along the sideline. We'll see what he does this time. Oh, he fumbled.
Gagliardi fumbled. He got hit from behind by 54, was it?
Abadi, yep. Aiden Abadi.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't get it, huh?
No.
Woo!
All right, brings up a fourth, a loss back to the Walpole 49. It'll be 4th and 10.
I'll give credit to Hughes on that one. Hughes actually forced them. Again, I've been saying it all game. They've been doing a good job on the most part. With the contain, Hughes forced him up. Abadi was coming off the backside and was able to knock the ball out of his hand, but they couldn't recover. So now we've got a punt here.
Abdal Kalak back at about the 19. Napier ready to kick. His kick. His shot. Kalak picks it up. And gets it up to Abdal Kalak gets back to the 20. And that's where Walpole will take over at their 20 with 3 minutes and 45 seconds left in regulation. Trailing by a touchdown. They do not want to go 0-2 here to begin the season, that's for sure. Walpole comes up to the line. They've gone back to the single running back again. Keys in the backfield with McKenzie. Hands off to Keys. Gets a block. Gets up to about the 23, 24 yard line. We're going to mark it on the 24. Pick up a 4 by Logan.
Keys finding a little bit of a rhythm, which they need, whether it's tonight or the season. They need him to find a little rhythm here.
McKenzie back to pass, looking, firing, complete to Harris.
That's Hughes, yeah.
Hughes, up to the 35.
Pass is complete. Number 7, Kamar Hughes.
To the
That's the one I was looking for on that last fourth down, that little curl in by him, because he's got a
Right.
big body to
He
protect the
does.
ball.
Yep. McKenzie looking, drops
nice.
it off to Keys. Keys cutting upfield. Gets it out of bounds at about the 44. Pickup of 9.
That's the first time we've seen them use the running back out of the backfield. I like it. Oh, well.
Incomplete. .243 left. 2nd and 10 for Walpole.
That was McGrath, the intended receiver. Seen him out there a few times. Yeah, I mean, to me, this is their last drive. I don't know if they give it up here that they are able to get the ball back. So,
Yeah. McKenzie's back, looking, firing, just tipped away. Looking for Cantrell.
yeah, he double pumped, and when he threw it the second time, he was a little off balance, and the ball sailed on him.
Yeah.
So 3rd and 10 here.
Third down for Walpole. Kenzie's looking, going deep. He's got some. Oh, just off the fingertips. So that's just off the fingertips. That would have been 6.
Whew.
He
That was
had
on the. That
beaten
was
the
there.
defender.
That was there.
Yeah,
Tough to make those catches.
right.
That's kind of like, you know, to me, big preseason. I was looking at McKenzie as having that capability, and that was a bullet, you know.
Yeah.
And that was right on the money. And I don't see Hughes in there on this one, but again, this was a spot that,
Right.
especially because he usually lines up away from Kalak.
Yeah, yep.
So take a little attention away. But they got Cantrell down in this spot down here.
4th down for Walpole. Kenzie's back. Under pressure fires. It's deflected.
He got hit.
Intercepted.
He got hit.
The 3rd time that McKenzie has been picked. And this time, this could be the nail in the coffin as they return it to the 40-yard line.
He got hit when he threw. It took the steam off the ball
Yep.
and didn't reach the intended target.
Foul spotted at the Walpole 40-yard line.
2:22 on the clock.
I don't know how many timeouts they have. I think they took one early.
Yeah.
I don't expect Natick to throw the ball at all.
Oh, right away. Hit.
Outstanding play by Kevin Needham.
Kevin
yeah.
Needham, yeah. As Ferrucci loses a yard on the play, back to the Walpole 41.
I mean, to me, last week it was the 2 inside linebackers that were making every tackle. This week, it's those 2 outside linebackers,
Yeah.
Needham and Cesario. Maybe not making every tackle, but making the right plays, forcing the plays up the middle.
2nd and 11 for Natick. 2:16 left to go in regulation. Timberwolves trailing by a touchdown, 14-7. Hand off to Ferrucci. He gets to the 40. Gets to the 40. Third down and 10. Timeout Walpole.
Fans, just a reminder, next home game is 2 weeks from tomorrow, Friday, September 29th. Versus
Walpole will have their next,
next week, the Red Hawks
their first home game of the year next Friday when they host Wellesley. Other home games this year will be October 13th against Milton, October 20th against Braintree, and October 27th against Wachusett Regional. All Walpole High home games will begin at 5:45 this year. But I've noticed that Wachusett Regional has picked up like 2 or 3 teams in the Bay State to play this year.
Yep.
All right. Third down for Natick and 10. Gagliardi going, gets up to the line of scrimmage, maybe gets a yard to about the 39.
And I don't believe Walpole has a timeout. So the clock's going to run now. Obviously, they do not.
Yeah. Okay, they'll be punting. Abdal Kalak back at about the 11-yard line. Clock winding down to 1.5 minutes to go in regulation. Napier's kick. It's shot. Gets a Natick bounce. And it will be down on the 1-yard line.
No timeouts, 99 yards
Nope.
to go.
That does
It's
not
like
look
Blues Brothers. We got a tank of gas,
good. Yeah,
111 miles to Chicago.
on a mission from God.
Right. Exactly.
1:08 left in regulation. Walpole 99 yards away from tying the game. Keys the lone back for Walpole. McKenzie back to pass. Going long down the right sideline. Oh,
Nice catch.
Abdal Khalik with a diving catch at the Walpole 41. .44, pickup of 43 on that. McKenzie looking again.
Get out of. Oh.
Over the hands of Will McGrath. 57 seconds left in regulation.
I'm not sure. I'm disappointed that he didn't catch that. He might have got tackled in bounds, and clock would have ran a little bit more.
Right. Walpole comes up to the line. Up to the 44, 2nd and 10 from their own 44. McKenzie back, throws
Get out of
complete
bounds. No.
to
Clock's running.
McGrath.
Clock's running. Get to the line of scrimmage, and can they down it? Yeah, they still have another
to
down.
the
So
pickup of 9 on the play. to the 46. Incomplete.
4th down now. 4th and 1.
Natick 47. All right. 31 seconds left in regulation. The ball on the Natick 47. 3rd and 1 for Walpole, but
4th and 1.
3rd
Oh,
and
third?
42
Is it
for a
3rd?
touchdown.
I thought it was 4th. But
Oh, it is 4th, yeah.
4th
4th down for Walpole. Kenzie looking, throwing complete.
Get out of bounds.
Abdel-Falak
Get out of bounds.
gets out of bounds at about the 36.
10.
Pickup of 11 on the play. They're going to mark it now at the 38, so pickup of 9. First down for Walpole, 24 seconds left in regulation. Kenzie back, looking, firing, intercepted. 4 interceptions. That'll kill your stats and your hopes for the game. .18 seconds left in this one. Natick will win their first game of the year. Walpole will fall to 0-2. And that should just about do it. A disappointing loss for Walpole. It's not often, like Mike said, that you come in to Natick and both teams are winless, but today was the chance for Walpole to do something, and they just weren't quite able to get that offense rolling again.
Yeah, I mean they still haven't scored a touchdown this year, so
right.
They got to get that undone next week against Wellesley. So just another opportunity to get on the board. So I think it was a good effort. Defense was solid. They made lots of turnovers, 5 turnovers, I believe, 4 interceptions and a fumble.
Yeah.
They fumbled a few more times that they got it back.
Right.
Couple key penalties, 1 on the first Natick touchdown.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just got to clean that up. They got to clean that up, and they still have a long year ahead of them.
Right. Well, we would like to thank you for watching this Walpole Media Corporation broadcast of Walpole High School football. Mike Hardiman and I wishing you a good week. And once again, your final score from Memorial Field in Natick. Natick 14, Walpole 7.